till death do us part. For better, for worse, in sickness and in health, till death do us part. So, you all know that I'm very open about my life. Okay, I'm open about my marriage. I'm open about parenting. I'm open about my eating disorders. I'm open about, like, you name it, I'm open about it. So I have done maybe about 2 videos on marriage, really, really long ones. I think one of them was like nearly an hour. I could be wrong. But I thought about doing a mini series about marriage till death do us part, because there's so much silence about the difficulties in marriage, okay? Especially in religious community, in Christian communities. We think that because we prayed about this person, God brought this person into our lives, that everything is going to be super duper easy. Everything's going to be amazing. This person will never offend me. And then when they do, and when they hurt you, even when they really, really hurt you, you don't feel safe to share this with anybody. And if you're like me, you feel like, okay, let me talk to people. And you go and you try and talk to people, and people gaslight you. People are just like, well, yeah, maybe it's just you, maybe this, maybe that. And it's never, nobody really knows what to do. So either people gaslight you, right? So it's all on you. For example, and I shared this in another thing where Tim and I, we were both studying, both working, life was busy, sex wasn't happening, and I talked to my friend about it, and friend, yeah, and anyway, talked to her about it, and she was all like, well, maybe you're cooking him the wrong food. Yeah. So people either gaslight you like that and make you think that you're the crazy one. So I started to think, okay, what kind of food should I be cooking for this man? So that this can happen. And or so if it's not that, people get really awkward. So I have 2 friends, actually, male and female, but not together, just separate friends. And anytime I brought up my marriage, and I'm telling you, like in 2018, I thought, this is it, I'm gonna leave this man, never come back, I am done. And it was a combination of different things, but I was also pregnant. And when you're pregnant and hormonal, everything is worse. Everything feels way worse. And anyway, so I'm talking to my friend. I'm just like, and it was super awkward. Like, they did not know what to do, what to say. Like, they were just like, what is happening right now? So then you feel really bad for putting them in a really weird position. And or people dismiss you. Another friend will just be like, oh, that's what marriage is like, and so I want to be here and talk about these things because they are happening, and people are not talking about them, and people are not, or when they talk about them, they are just gaslighting you, or giving you advice. I'm going to try not to give you advice. Try and comment, let me know, but I'm just going to tell you what's been working for me. And so yes, till death do us part. So I think we shared how we met on, I need to go through my videos, but Tim and I met, and our dating, like our 2 years of dating were just amazing. They were really nice. But Tim was not in a hurry. I was in a hurry. I had a life plan. I was going to get married at a certain age, blah, blah, blah. So when I saw that he wasn't proposing, I dumped him. And went off to Brazil and stuff like that, and I was supposed to be going to America that year. Anyway, so we were broken up for about 7 months, but this guy never gave up on me, and he was like, it's not over. I remember when I broke up with him and he was like, this is not over. And anyway, so he stayed on the scene, kind of like texting here and there, but not all the time. Um, and then I had this moment in Brazil. I was climbing a mountain. I climbed this mountain like I don't know how many times, but I would go up the mountain and just pray, and I was fasting, and I was super holy those days. Still am. Just yeah, it's interesting. But I was, extra, like, I was just like diligent with everything, almost legalistic to some extent, but that's a story for another day. So I'm up on this mountain, and I'd been fasting for God to show me, was I supposed to go to America to do my master's, and should I go there alone, because I was kind of having doubts about having broken up with him. So I'm like, God, am I supposed to be alone? Am I supposed to be with him? Is he my husband? So 3 days into this fast, it was supposed to be like a 10-day fast, and I kind of have an answer, but I don't want to accept that answer, because I'm like, I could go to America and meet a Black American guy, and anyway, but eventually I did accept the answer, and but I did not tell Tim at all, and we were texting and calling and stuff. But about a week or two before I came back, I was like, dude, so this is what God told me. And I was like really scared and embarrassed, because like I had dumped him, and here I was telling him, actually, you're my husband, even though he had said to me this was not over. But he was so happy. I could feel him smiling through the screen, because we were instant messaging at the time. Anyway, long story short, I came back on a Wednesday. We got back together on a Thursday over instant message, and we got married. Oh, we got engaged 2 weeks after that, because the week after that he came and asked my parents if he could marry me, and we got engaged, and then we got married 4 months, I think. 3.5, 4 months after that. So super whirlwind. We knew this was it. Our wedding day was just so Christ-centered. It was just like, Jesus brought us together. And so I thought, and then our first year of marriage was on point. Like it was just so like, so I couldn't get a job for some reason. For quite a few months. So I was like the stay-at-home wife who was like young, and I would go for a run in the morning, and he'd come back for lunch, because he worked like 5 minutes from his job, and he would come home for lunch and would kiss and cuddle and stuff, and then he would go back, and then he would be back by 5 p.m. and then we would have dinner, and then we would cuddle and other stuff and watch stuff, and we had all this extra money to like spend, even though I wasn't working. And so we went to the cinema. We did so many fun things, and it was just great. So imagine my shock when I'm starting to resent this man at like year 3. So year 2 we got pregnant. We were in America, and then year 3 the baby's here. We're both studying. We're both working and raising a child, a full child, and the pressure, the stress. Oh my goodness. So just really stressful, and he's really starting to like annoy me and frustrate me, and I'm just like, till death do us part. I would be lying if I haven't had moments where I'm like, what did I do with my life? And this is not a reflection on Tim. This is a reflection of me and my expectations. Okay, so we all go into marriage with our expectations, and I think a lot of us expect that it's just gonna be perfect, breezy, amazing, nothing bad will ever happen, this person will never let us down. Well, let me tell you, if you're not married, that they will let you down, and you will let them down, and they are probably thinking, what in the world did I do? Okay. And Yeah, so I've had those moments, and sometimes they've lasted longer than a week. Other times it's just been like a moment of just being annoyed, and then the next thing I'm just like, oh wait, I really do love him. I really do like him. So I think, do you know what? If we said that it was abnormal to feel that, we would be lying, because we are sadly selfish creatures who are out to just gain for themselves, and actually submitting to one another and given to the other person unconditionally is not a natural thing for us, right? In comes Jesus. Like, he's the only reason that you can, for me, and I know there are people out there who are not religious or Christian and still have really good marriages, right? But I believe that there's the image of God in each and every single one of us. And so even though somebody is not out, like, following Jesus openly or whatever, they still carry God inside of them. I believe there's the divine in us all, because, you know, so, but for me, I have found that the times when I'm super connected to God, so I guess this is point number one, that like the first thing that really works for me is that connection to God. And if I'm really connected to God, I have more patience, I have more love, I have more perspective. I have, you know, like, my identity is not fluctuating. I'm not super insecure. And because of that, I'm so much kinder to my husband, and I'm much more forgiven. And when I am not, okay, when I am not, God help us all. So, for me, the thing that keeps me married and keeps me sane and keeps Tim and the kids safe is Jesus the Christ. It's that connection with God. It's that higher power. Because for me, that's where I get my everything. That's where I get my identity, my perspective, my purpose, my strength for every day, my grace for every day, my patience, like literally anything I need to function as a normal non-crazy human being comes from Jesus. And everything I need to be the wife that I need to be, or that is not biting people's heads off, comes from Jesus too. But it's difficult. I'm not gonna lie to you. Being married is hard. It's beautiful, right? We've all watched the Hollywood movies. We've all heard the pastors preach. Yes, marriage is beautiful, but marriage is hard. You have two people coming together. There's going to be so much compromise. There needs to be so much compromise. There needs to be so much, not even love, because I feel like we all get married because we love the person, right? Well, most of us. Some people marry for money and whatever else, but most people get married for love. So you have the love, but it's the compromising, and it's the putting the other person first. Those things keep you, and those things can only come, for me, they can only come from the divine. So, till death do us part, is it possible? Well, I'm still married 6 years on, 9 years together, nearly 10, with a 7-month break in between. Anyway, see you at the next video. Like, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for following me. I appreciate you.